and welcome to this SmarterWX how-to video. In this video, we're going to take you through the reasons you're using SmarterWX and how to use the main features. At the end of this video, you'll understand how to use SmarterWX to identify opportunities to collaborate, to save costs and reduce disruption. But to start with, let's talk about what SmarterWX actually is. Put simply, SmarterWX is a web application that allows you and other organizations to share your capital works plans. It also offers you a set of tools for identifying opportunities where you can improve the scheduling of jobs by collaborating with other organizations. It's a smarter way to plan your work. And you only have to check the local newspapers to see why this is a good idea. Take this example from the Sydney Morning Herald, where it's complaining that in a short amount of time, NBN had dug up one side of the street, Sydney Trains had come and done some more work, and guessing that Sydney Water is probably going to come along and do the same next week. Or these examples, where SA Water dug up a road to replace a water main less than a year after it had been resurfaced. Or one of my favourites from the UK, where a resurfaced road was dug up while the tarmac was still warm. So one very good reason to use SmarterWX is to avoid getting yourselves into the papers for your projects. But let's look at some of the real reasons for participating in SmarterWX. The first is about reducing disruption to the community. Nobody likes having roadworks in their street, and it's even less popular if different organisations are coming and digging up a road multiple times in a short period of time. And we can reduce the cost of resurfacing roads after works by sharing it perhaps between the water and gas utilities. And we can share costs like traffic management and locator services and remediation work. And obviously prolonging the life of a road by not having it dug up many times by different organisations. And the way we do that is by having all the organisations in an area, that's the local government, the electricity, telcos, gas utilities, all loading their data into SmarterWX to provide a single common view. As a user of SmarterWX, your organisation will have loaded your capital works plans into the SmarterWX application. By doing this, you get to share it once, but make it available to everyone that you work with. It is obviously important that you keep your data up to date within SmarterWX. And from a privacy perspective, your organisation is able to set which other organisations can see your data, and vice versa. Before we look at how you get started using SmarterWX, it's important just to understand 4 core concepts, and they are the project, the exclusion zone, the opportunity, and the exclusion zone conflict. So we're going to quickly go through what each of those are. A project represents a capital work. It might be a road upgrade, installing new water main, or doing some asset maintenance on an existing gas pipeline. All of these proposed, confirmed, and under construction projects are loaded into SmarterWX. Each project has a number of attributes against it. The first, of course, is its location. And we define the outline of where the work is going to take place. As you can see here, each project also has a start and an end date, has a unique identifier that you will use, the type of job, whether it's a stormwater or it's a pavement works, the status of that, and the statuses go from proposed to confirmed to under construction to complete. There's also room for notes and the contact name of the person who's responsible for this project, and you'll use that for collaborating with that person. Next up is the opportunity. An opportunity is formed where there are 2 projects that are going to take place in roughly the same space at roughly the same time. And now your organisation will set rules for when an opportunity is created, and that defines how close in space 2 projects are going to be and how close in time. In the example shown here, we can see how the blue project and the green project are overlapping. And this is an opportunity for us to look at sharing costs or rescheduling the works to reduce disruption to the community. Your organisation will also choose whether or not opportunities should be created for 2 projects that are both within your organisation, or whether it should only be when you're working with a different organisation. The opportunity is the key concept of SmarterWX. This represents an opportunity for you to collaborate or reschedule on 2 or more projects. Later on in this video, we'll look at what you do when you discover that there is an opportunity for your project. As well as loading projects into SmarterWX, you can also load exclusion zones. An exclusion zone represents an area where works cannot be done for some reason. For example, it might be a Remembrance Day parade, a fun run or other sporting event, which means that you won't be granting any permits to work in that area. As with a project, an exclusion zone has a number of attributes. It has the location, the start and end dates for the exclusion, some notes, and the contact name of the person responsible for this exclusion zone. And instead of an opportunity being created for exclusion zones, we get an exclusion zone conflict. This represents where there is a project and an exclusion zone in near proximity in both time and space. When there is an exclusion zone conflict, it's telling you that your project will not be able to go ahead on those dates due to the exclusion zone. So now you understand the terminology and basics of SmarterWX, let's see how you actually get started with using it. The first thing that any user of SmarterWX will see is this welcome email. Find the Get Started link and click on it to allow us to set your password and activate your account. Choose the password for your account. This needs to be reasonably complex with letters, numbers, and at least 8 characters. Set your password, and now you're ready to log in. Click the login button, and now enter that email address and your new password to sign in. And that's it. You're now ready to use SmarterWX. We all forget our password from time to time, and if that's happened to you, just click on the Forgotten Password link. Now enter your email address and click Reset. You'll receive an email with details about how to reset your password. Once you've received your password reset email, find and click on the Reset Password link, and this will open SmarterWX onto the password reset page. Choose a new password and click Set Password, and you're all ready to go again. The page you're going to use most often in SmarterWX is the search page. Here is where you can see all of the projects, exclusion zones, opportunities and conflicts on the map. This is the typical first view. Each of the blue clusters represents a number of projects that are underneath it. Clicking on a cluster will zoom you in further until you reveal the actual projects, shown here as green for local government and blue for water. Clicking on any project will reveal the information about that project, so we can see which organisation it belongs to, the dates, the type of work that's planned, and so on. If there are more than one in the same place, I can scroll through them. I can also click for more details on the notes, or find the contact details of the project owner who I might want to collaborate with. Clicking anywhere on the map will close the pop-up. Of course, I can zoom in further. One way of doing this is to hold down the Shift key and drag an area where you want to zoom into. This is a great way of going to exactly where you want to be. Now that we've zoomed in further, we can see a bit more detail. Each project shows the shape, as well as the icon about what type of project we're looking at. The list on the left-hand side corresponds with the items that are shown on the map. As I move my mouse around the list, they'll be highlighted so I can see which one on the map corresponds to the one in the list. If I want to close the list, I can simply click on this handle and the list goes away to give me a much bigger map area. There are a number of settings that I can use to change the view. For example, I can change the base map between a satellite view and the streets view. And if your organisation has configured your own custom view, I'll also get that as a third base map option. I can turn on and off the pins on the map to make the project shape stand out more clearly. And this is stored in your user preferences, so once you've decided how you want to view the map, that's how it's going to be the next time you come to SmarterWX. I can also quickly turn on and off different feature types, projects or opportunities. Here I've turned off projects. I can also turn on and off other features such as the local government area boundaries and my areas of interest. To find out more about what's displayed on the map, click on the legend. The legend shows you what all the different colours mean, the different shapes, and also information about the additional layers. If you want to search for a particular address, just click on the magnifying glass and start typing your address. Suggestions will appear as you type, allowing you to zoom in to a specific location. The locations that you've recently searched for are also shown in this list, so you can just click one of those if you're going back to a place that you were looking at maybe the previous day. At the top of the map, you'll find the search filters. These filter out what you're displaying on the map. For example, I can choose only to be searching for projects. When I change the type, some additional fields may appear, such as the project status. The status tracks the life cycle of a project, from being initially proposed, to confirmed, to being under construction, and then finally to closed. And the works classification, so I might want to only be looking at jobs that are above ground, for example. I can filter that out to the list that I want. Selecting the date range will limit what's shown on the map to be only those that correspond with your chosen dates. The dates that you select will match anything that is between the dates or is overlapping with your dates. For example, a project that starts in January but ends in June would still be shown if your date range was only March till April, because of the fact that it overlaps. And finally, you can search by a particular user within your organisation to find only the projects that belong to that user, or you can search for a particular organisation if you want to filter down to just one organisation type. If you know the project ID that you're searching for, you can change the search filter by clicking the icon on the right-hand side, and then you're able to type in the ID of the project to jump straight to it. And finally, for the search features, you can save your own favourite searches. Clicking on the star will reveal any saved searches that you have, and you can click on them to jump immediately to that view. A saved search, or a favourite search, is a combination of the map extent plus all the filter settings that you've selected. Once you've set the map how you want to view it, you can click Add New Favourite, and then give it a name, and save that. Now, if you set it to be your default, then whenever you log into SmarterWX, that will be the view that you see. So it's a really great way to focus on the area that you're responsible for. So that's the search view. This is the screen you're going to use most often, so do familiarise yourself with all of the tools that are available. At some point after you've started using SmarterWX, you're going to receive an email like this. This email notifies you that a collaboration opportunity, or many collaboration opportunities, have been found between your projects and other people's projects. The question then becomes, what should I do now that I've been notified that there is a collaboration opportunity? Well, the first thing to do is to click on the link in the email to view the opportunity inside SmarterWX. What we're looking at here is the two shapes of the projects on the map, as well as the opportunity boundary. And on the left-hand side, we have all the details about my project and the project that's been linked with, the one that we could potentially collaborate with. In this case, it's with City of Sydney. You can see here that the dates on my project are from July 2018 to June 2020, and the dates on City of Sydney's project is July 2019 to May 2020. So there is an opportunity to look at how we can schedule these to happen at the same time. And obviously, it's up to the way that your business processes work about how flexible you are with being able to move projects around. So we have an opportunity. What now? Well, we can just click on the contact's details and we'll get their email address and phone number, so I could give them a call or drop an email to them. I can also add some notes to this opportunity. These are only visible inside my organisation, so the linked organisation don't see these. But I'm just going to make a note that it looks like a good opportunity and one that we might want to collaborate on. Okay, so that's notes. Now, rather than phoning Andre, I could just send a message directly from within SmarterWX. So click on the message button, type my message, and this is just like an email really. And I send that. So now Andre will receive that message either in SmarterWX or sent to him as an email to start the process of collaborating around this opportunity. And if you'd like to be CC'd on the emails that are sent to the other project manager, you can set that within your user profile. Sometimes you'll find an opportunity where it doesn't make sense to collaborate, or for whatever reason you're not able to coordinate your works. In this case, you can archive the opportunity. This removes it from your view. When archiving, you need to choose a reason for that, and then just click the Archive Now button. But in the case where you have been able to collaborate, it's important to record the savings that you were able to generate by doing so. So let's go and view the project. So this is looking at our project. We can then go to the Savings tab and add savings information. And this describes how much time or money or both was saved on the job. So I can say that for resurfacing, I was able to save $20,000, and I'll include some notes about that as well. And similarly, I can record the number of days that were saved on this project because of the collaboration. When capturing days saved, this refers to any reduction in the duration of the project as a result of collaboration. All this information is captured so that your organisation can produce reports showing how much time and money each project manager was able to save through collaboration. So there we've looked at how you work with opportunities. The key thing to remember is that whenever you receive an email telling you that an opportunity has been found, you go into SmarterWX, you check out the opportunity value for you and how you could collaborate to save money, reduce disruption, and increase the life of those road assets. Now we'll look at areas of interest. Areas of interest allow you to monitor certain areas so that you'll be notified when anything gets added or updated or removed within that area. When something does happen, you'll receive an email that looks like this, listing all of the projects or exclusion zones that have been added or changed within your area of interest. So let's look at how we set these up. Going back into SmarterWX, we start by clicking on the AOI icon on the top navigation bar. When we do this, the map changes to show us any areas of interest we already have set up, which you can see on the left-hand side here. and also with the icons on the map. So I'll zoom in a little bit further, and we can click on these to see the properties of them. Each area of interest has a name and some dates. So we can see this one running down George Street in Sydney. From my list of areas of interest on the left-hand side, clicking on any of them will jump me straight to that area on the map. Great way of being able to have some favourite areas that you're watching, and you can go and see what's happening within SmarterWX. To add a new one, we're going to click plus. But before we do that, let's position the map to an area where we want to add our area of interest. This will do. I'll do it around this park. So click on add, click on the get started, and I can choose whether to do either a polygon, so an outline shape, or a line, in which case the line will automatically be extended 20 meters on either side of it. Depends what type of feature you're trying to watch. So to draw this, I just click around the edges of my shape, and then double click once I've finished my shape, and this dialog will appear where I can provide a name and also choose dates, so that I'll only receive notifications for anything added that is going to happen during those dates. If my shape's not quite right, clicking on Edit Shape takes me into this editor environment, where I can start dragging the corners of my shape to get it to exactly how I want it to look. And then click Save Changes, and there we have it. I've added an area of interest. Now, anything that happens within that area, I'll be receiving an email notification for it. And one final note here, if you go back to the search view, we can view areas of interest on the map so that we can see them alongside all of the projects. So here, you can see the area of interest I've just drawn will be displayed on the search map, so I can see that in relation to any projects. If I want to keep track of one particular project, I can watch that project. Using a watch means that I'll be notified whenever that project is updated, for example changes status, or gets removed from SmarterWX. So let's have a look at how we add a watch. Simply on the map, when we're looking at the search view, I can bring up the pop-up, and there in the corner it says watch. And if I click on that, it activates the watch on it, and it will start saying watching. This watch is now in place for this project. I'll receive notifications for updates and deletion. And the watch is a toggle, so I can just click on it again to turn off watching on that one. Click it many times you like, it just toggles between watch and watching. To view a list of all my current watches, go to My Feed and then My Watches. And here's the list of all the projects that I'm currently watching. Clicking on any one of them will jump me straight to that project on the map. For this reason, you can also think of your list of watches as your list of favourite projects. This list gives you a really simple way of jumping between all the projects that you're interested in and are currently watching. Using the menu against any project in your list, you can also find the ability to remove that watch. Clicking on Remove Watch will get you to confirm it, and that's now gone from your watch list. As we saw earlier, you can also do that in the search view by toggling the watch feature on the pop-up. So that's how to use watches. Of course, as with everything in SmarterWX, watches can also be applied to exclusion zones, not just projects. Before using SmarterWX, it's a good idea to set up your user profile. So go to the menu in the top right-hand corner and select Edit Profile. Here, it lists our email preferences, information we share with other people in SmarterWX, and also allows us to change our password. So you can set your name and your telephone number. You can't change your email address. If that needs to be changed, you need to contact your organization's administrator. It's a great idea to add your photo into SmarterWX to give yourself a bit of personality. To do that, click on the photo image, click to select a file, And then once you've selected your photo file, you can zoom into it and set the center point by dragging these handles. So I'm just add my face into that, and then I can click Save. I won't do that now because I don't want to change Stuart's photo. Next thing to look at is your email preferences. These define how often and when you will receive emails. You can set them up for all of the different types, so whether that's for watches, opportunities, areas of interest, and so on. You really should go through these and set them to how you want them to be. For example, do I want to receive an email as soon as an event happens, so with a watch as soon as a project is updated, or do I want to receive them at most once a day or at most once a week? I can set all of those preferences to how I want to receive them. Once you're happy with all the settings, click the Save button and that updates your profile for you. Also on this page, if you scroll down to the bottom, you're able to change your password. You need to enter your current password and then choose what new password you have. This doesn't apply if you're logging in using your Active Directory. So that's your user profile. Of course, you can always come back here and change your settings whenever you like. There is a lot of online help available in SmarterWX. Click on the help icon on the navigation bar and you can choose to go through a step-by-step guide for any page that will show you the main features. Or alternatively, click on Open Help Guide to go to the main help site. There are many pages here to browse through. The easiest way to find things, though, is just to type into the search bar. Let's see what we can do about areas of interest. There is a mixture of text help topics and also videos available on the help site to guide you through things such as understanding opportunities. Also, check out the menus on the right-hand side, where you can find things such as frequently asked questions. And also, here's where you can submit ideas for how you think we can improve SmarterWX. Just fill in this form and we'll consider it for a future release. Finally, if you can't find the answer on the SmarterWX help, you can always contact our support team. The details for contacting support are given on the help site. You can either email or call us. You will also see dotted around the SmarterWX application a question mark symbol, allowing you to access some context-sensitive help wherever you are. So here in Areas of Interest, I click on the question mark and it jumps me straight to a help topic regarding AOIs. There is a lot of help available for SmarterWX, so if you are stuck on something, be sure to check out the help guide. That concludes this how-to video for SmarterWX project managers. I'd encourage you to log into SmarterWX yourself and start using the features you've just learnt about. And remember, you can always revisit parts of this video if you need to learn more.